Creators, Fiber Spider, back again with another tutorial for you. And today I'm going to show you how to crochet this really lovely lacy stitch that I found, and I call it the Butterfly Trellis. And it would be great for a spring scarf, or if you make it nice and wide, a wrap. Just super simple, super lacy, and a lot of fun. And the repeat really isn't that bad, believe it or not. So I'm using a worsted weight yarn and a size I hook. However, use what works for you. Everybody's gauge is different, I always say, so go with it. So grab your yarn, grab your hook, and let's get into it. All right. Okie dokie pokey. So now what you're going to need to do is you need a multiple of 12 stitches plus 4. So what I did was I did a base chain of a total of 2 multiples of 12 plus 4, so it's 28 stitches. So 12, 12, and then 4. If you want to make this a wrap, which would be lovely, then I would go, as wide as you want to go. Hey, it's totally up to you, right? So I've got my 28 stitches, and what we're going to start with is a double crochet into the 6th chain. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so we get a double crochet, and right now we're working on the basis of the trellis, so to speak. Okay, and then we're going to chain 3 and skip the next 3 chains, and we're going to double crochet into the next one. So it's chaining of 3, and we're going to go down here and we're going to skip 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. So into that 4th one, do another double crochet stitch, like so. Alrighty. And we're going to do that once again by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. Do another double crochet. Okay. So we've got 2 large segments there and a side one. All right. Then we are going to chain 1. Excuse me. And we're going to skip the next chain. And then we're going to double crochet into the next chain. And we're going to do that twice. Oops. Make sure you have all of your plies. And right now I'm using, I believe this is Red Heart Soft, which is, don't get me wrong, it is a lovely yarn. And I love the texture, in spite of the fact that it's an acrylic, but the plies do separate. So I chained 1 again, skip that chain, go into the next. And you'll have to excuse me if you hear some weird gurgling noises. I think that's my tummy making strange noises. Okay, so we have a small one, 2 big spaces, 2 small spaces. All right, and then we're going to repeat, because this was for the one, and here's the other repeat, because we did 2 counts of 12. All right, so let me see here. Okay, so then we do a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. Into the 4th with a double crochet. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3 chains, go into the 4th. Okay. All right, now we have 2 chains left. All right. So in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and do a double crochet into the last chain. All right. So we have our symmetry going on here. So we've got 2 small ones on the end, then 2 large spaces, and then the 2 small spaces. And so, of course, if you do 3 increments of 12, you will have, 3 of these pairs of the large spaces. Okay? So let's get on to row number 2, shall we? All right. Alrighty, so we're going to start row 2 by chaining up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn the work, and this chain 4 is going to act as a double crochet and a chain 1. And we're going to do a double crochet into, not here, but this first double crochet over here. So it's going to perpetuate the space along the side. Like so. All right. Okay, now in this next stitch, right here in the middle, we're going to do, pardon me, we're going to do a cluster, then a chain 3, then a single crochet, then a chain 3, then a cluster. Now, there are 2 ways of doing a cluster, and personally, I like the way I came up with, but I'm going to show you both. All right, now the instructions, oh, you gotta love those instructions, call for a cluster to be made as such, where you go into the stitch, like so, and you pull up a loop to the height of a double crochet, and you then yarn over and you pull through both of those, and then you yarn over and you pull up a loop to the height of a double crochet, and you pull through, and then you pull through all 3. And that is a cluster. Honestly, I would rather do a 2 double crochets crocheted together. That is my personal preference. So to show you the way that it says to do, but I'm a bit of a rebel, I will show you how to do it again. So to do the cluster the way they say, pull it up to the height, pull through, pull it up to the height, pull through, and then pull through all 3. Personally, I don't like stitches that create guesswork as to length, and, because then you can end up with uneven lengths of stitches, unless if you do the stitch a lot. I just don't care for that. So my preference is what I'm going to show you right here now, is do a double crochet but not finish it, then do another double crochet, not finish it, then pull through all 3. It's essentially the same thing for all intents and purposes, but they describe it differently. Okay, so at any rate, let's press on. Enough of my rambling, but I just want to show you there are options. So then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and into this stitch down here that we just went into, do a single crochet, like so. Then you do, let me see, another chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then into that same space, yet again, you do another cluster. So it would be an unfinished double crochet, then another unfinished double crochet, and then pull through all 3. And that is your butterfly. Ta-da! Okay, So then what you do is into this next double crochet stitch, you do another double crochet, and that anchors it. So that's your first butterfly. Okay, so then, again, with the building up of the trellis, what we do now is we chain one, do a double crochet into the next double crochet stitch, chain one, and a double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. Okay, now we need to do another butterfly. And if you're doing a lengthy width, every time you hit one of these posts here, dead set in the middle, you need to do another butterfly. So we're going to do our cluster. So a unfinished double, another unfinished double, then pull through all three, chain three, single crochet into that same stitch, chain three, and then do another cluster into that same stitch. Unfinished double, unfinished double, finish all three, and then into these last two, you do a double crochet, and then a chain one, and then, now they say into the third chain. Well, that can be kind of hard to find, but what I like to do is, okay, so we just went into this stitch here, then you skip this one here, and you go into the next one. That's my methodology of finding the right stitch. Again, this may not be textbook, but it works for me. And this first one on the base is always a beast, especially with yarn that splits. But there we are. So I will show you what I mean. So you do that double, pull up. Now you can see here that there is my double, and there's that one unworked chain stitch right there. And there you are. So that is the end of row 2. And we've got a good start, don't you think? All right, now what you can do also is adjust your butterflies so that they aren't swallowing up the trellis that we just did. And there we go. So now we will do row 3, which is the last of our rows, and then we will go from there. Alrighty, so for row 3, we start with a chaining up of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you do this for every row, really, with the chaining up of 4, because we need this edging to be the same on both sides. So then what we do is into this double crochet, we do another double crochet, because that chain 4 acts as our double crochet, chain 1. And actually, you know what? Going back, now I stress this in a lot of other videos, and I'm going to stress it again now. When you're doing this initial chain, go loose. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Not overtly loose, but loose enough, because every row that you're going back in, you're going to have to go back into those stitches. So you don't want to give yourself too much of an ordeal going back in if you can at all avoid it. Correct? I think so. So there we go. We have our side loop there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do a treble crochet into the single crochet that we did down in here. Now it can be a little bit tricky, however, if you separate the chain threes that we did before, it makes it a lot easier to see. So we're going to start by prepping up our treble crochet, and so as you can see, we're going to go right into the double V there, right there. So you pull up, pull through, and pull through, because we need some height in there. That's why we've got a treble. And then we're going to chain 3 once again. 1, 2, 3. And do a double crochet into the double crochet over here. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Treble crochet into the single crochet right here. See? So we've got our treble, and then we chain 3 again. 1, oops, oh no, okay, 2, 3, and then we finish it off with a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Alright, see, again, we're skipping this one, we're going into the next one. And that, I find, really is the easiest way to do that, as opposed to trying to find the third chain from the bottom, which can be done, but it can be also a bit more tricky because it's 1, 2, and then 3. Whichever way works for you, of course. So that is one full repeat. Now, to repeat the pattern, you would do rows 2 and 3 over and over and over again, okay? And you would do it to the length that you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through rows 2 and 3 again, a bit quicker for you, so that you get the hang of it, okay? Alright, so I'm going to stop and then I'll restart. Bear with me. Alright, so to do the repeat, so row 2 would be a chaining up of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a double crochet into the first double crochet. And then we do a cluster into that double crochet stitch. Like so. Oops. Did I mess it up already? No, I did not. I'm just being silly. And through all 3, chaining of 3, single crochet into that same stitch, chaining of 3, another cluster, and close up the cluster, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, do another cluster, and pull through all 3, chain 3, single crochet into that same stitch, chain 3, do another cluster into the same stitch, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet, skipping stitch there, going into the next. Like so. All right. So then for row 3, it's chaining up a 4, double crochet into the first double crochet, chaining of 3, treble crochet into the single crochet, 1, 2, 3 times, chain 3, pull out some more yarn, and a double crochet into the next double crochet over here, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, treble crochet into the next single crochet right in here, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet, not to the next but the one after, like so. And I do hope that that quick run through clarified things just a little bit. So now we have 2 repeats. And again, you can straighten your butterflies a little bit if they get unruly. And there you are. So I hope very much that you enjoyed this tutorial, because you know I enjoy doing them for you guys. Love this stuff. It is my passion, and hey, I go with it. So listen, if you liked this video, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, comments, I'd be more than happy to answer if I can. Pardon me. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, because I do try to post videos as often as I can. You know, I have to breathe, you know. Anywho, until the next video, stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.